Tiffany Haddish's journey in comedy and acting is a very interesting one. She started from the bottom, and now we are here. She's a recognizable figure, especially in Black Hollywood. But despite all of her successes and achievements, Tiffany Haddish has struck out when it comes to getting a man in a serious relationship. The most notable relationship that we saw Tiffany Haddish in was with Chicago-based rapper Common. Now, if you know Common, he kinda is a mellow guy, doesn't have a lot of drama, but he typically picks ladies that are the opposite of him. If you can say Papoose is very similar with how he deals with Remy Ma or Clarissa Shields, they're complete opposites of his personality. When they got together, people were not necessarily shocked. Tiffany Haddish is very outspoken and Common is well reserved. But even Tiffany Haddish was too much for Common. It was so bad that he broke up with her over text message. And to make things worse, Common then fostered a relationship with Jennifer Hudson, a lady who is also from Chicago, and they're still going on strong. Tiffany Haddish, after the relationship, started spiraling out of control.
A concerned caller reported to the police a person was asleep behind the wheel of a car stopped in the middle of Beverly Drive. Beverly Hills police responded and arrested her and led her away in handcuffs. TMZ says she will be cited for DUI and released later today. Haddish was actually busted for DUI back in January of last year in Atlanta. Similar situation. She's supposed to go to trial December 4th for that.
And as you can hear there, not only did she get a DUI in Atlanta, she got one in Beverly Hills. But even before the breakup with Common, it always seemed like something was wrong with Tiffany Haddish's comedy.
I have never so much as cracked a smile when Tiffany Haddish comes up on my screen. Only thing I've cracked is my back while looking for the remote to change the. Personally, nothing about Tiffany Haddish has been funny because she's always pandered towards the white. She's always reminded me of those black comedians like King Batch or whatever his name, who actively seek validation from white laughs, you know, like bringing fried chicken to a red carpet event because you know that's feeding into the stereotype. Like, that's not funny, that's not charming, that is just literally you being a the thing that you are, okay?
This young lady hit it directly on the head. Not only did she not feel that Tiffany Haddish is funny, it's almost like Tiffany Haddish's comedy is catered towards white people. You're doing your best to be, I don't know, like the worst version of a black person just to appease whites. And this lady wasn't the only person that felt like that.
Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt. The only thing before that in the movie with me is I slept with this white man and I got a white baby. She had a white husband for the 14 years she been doing comedy. And then all of a sudden divorced him. Then said he abused her. Then wrote a book. Then said he didn't. And then now we're at Brad Pitt.
He's right, you know.
Even Cat Williams felt very similar to the first person. It's like Tiffany Haddish will do anything for white people or white approval. And a lot of you guys can say that is selling out, and depending on who you talk to, it is. But there would be no problem for most people if she just didn't denigrate black men, right? Well, this happened.
Women that have more than 2 baby daddies usually have some sort of mental illness. Every time you get pregnant, there's stem cells that come from that baby, and them stem cells end up behind your eyes and your brain and your heart, and those stem cells will always stay with you, right? And that is why any black man born in America, I can't with you. Most black men born outside of America and everything else.
So that's why we're going to Africa. Why?
Exactly.
Okay, girl.
Why, Tim?
Because I think my body is rejecting these American.
Damn.
Wow.
My bloodline's like,
nigga
no.
Wow.
No. And that's why I'm a little bit crazy.
So you need this nut.
Or a white dude.
So this clip has everybody mad right now. I mean, this was on Godfrey in the podcast, and they decided to clip this out. And of course, Tiffany Haddish is taking a shot at African-American men. And you must know that Tiffany Haddish is half Eritrean and half African-American. So brothers in the comment section did not appreciate this at all. My brother Booker Alpharonomy says, come on, baby girl. You're not on anybody's list. Janet Matthew. Jahaha, the shade, she's heartbroken. Derek Winning, those stem cells are exactly why she's not funny. Got him! Logs Williams, she will never get over Common. Kiana Shanti's views. It's embarrassing that we talk about each other out loud like this. This person, wasn't she messing with children inappropriately? Or if Angel says, girl, focus on being funny. Comedy by Ture says, it's never you.
Damn.
Now it's interesting because Tiffany Haddish herself had a very loving and caring mate in Common. And when she had the opportunity to talk about marriage with Common, I'm pretty sure you guys remember this.
So Tiffany Haddish wants Common to buy her apartment building instead of engagement ring. I don't want carrots, I want units. Listen, baby girl, let me just explain something to you. That's not how it works. At the end of the day, you get the engagement ring. Then you get your wedding ring if it makes it to a marriage. And then after that, baby girl, maybe for a gift, you can go ahead and get yourself some units. Do y'all feel like Tiffany Haddish is doing too much? Like, how do you ask for units before we're even married? I'm gone.
So in order for Common to marry her, what you gotta do is you need to give me an apartment complex, brother. That's right. If you want to get with me, I need a apartment complex. Yeah. And then that will be like you trying to be with me for real. Understand what I'm saying?
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you think you is?
Now, here's what I don't like about Tiffany Haddish and saying that black men in America, if they're born here, you need a black man from someplace else. And it's interesting because just the other day, some lady said the same thing on social media.
It wasn't until I dated my first African man that I realized what it felt like to have a man that's in control of like every situation, like not in a bad way, but just like in a leadership way. Like they come with a lot of authority and a lot of like confidence that allows you to kind of like turn your brain off because your man got it. Like he'll tell you what time to be there. He might even tell you to like dress nice, what to wear, not what to wear, but like, like he just handles things. And I didn't get that experience with African American men. Like y'all gonna want to fight me and tussle, but I said what I said.
All of a sudden, black men from America are the problem. And don't get me wrong, like that could be the case in some instances. But one thing that we do know is that after Common moved on away from you, it was you destroying your life. You were the one saying that you needed help, that you were crashing out. Now it's all black men from America is the issue. And now you want to go back to Africa and get you a man. Well, let me just put it to you like this. I live on the continent of Africa, and shout out to the African brothers who are out here. It's a lot of brothers doing very well. However, a woman who behaves and acts like Tiffany Haddish, no guy who is doing very well on the continent of Africa has any time to put up with somebody like Tiffany Haddish. I mean, it's just really the truth. I don't know why women feel like, American men are just so bad, or, they're going to go someplace else and get somebody. Well, the guys who are already doing very well, and I'm pretty sure that Tiffany Haddish would be interested in a man doing very well. They don't have to deal with somebody who's broken like Tiffany Haddish. They will just stay in their own culture or their own community and find a lady that is well behaved and fits the culture and spend a lot less money, a lot less time, and then let Tiffany Haddish go back to the streets and just self-deteriorate based on her own bad decisions. And I keep hearing that like, we got to go back to Africa and get us a man. But do you know what really happens? This is what happens. They come over here, they get a dude, they end up getting them cheeks clapped, but they end up paying for it. And that's the step that Tiffany Haddish is at. You're going to be paying for it, boo. Like, you got to understand, if you're in America and you've already had opportunities with men already there, and you've dropped that opportunity, how come you can't look at yourself and be an adult and say, maybe it was me some of the times, maybe I did X, Y, and Z incorrectly. And that is why the problem is what it is. This is what we're talking about. Or, I can do something different. Nope, it's always somebody else's fault. And it won't matter if you go get a white man and stop the show. Tiffany Haddish is always trying to get a white man, an Israelite man, a Jewish man. Here's the issue. I don't see any of them checking for her, because at the end of that clip, she did say, a white man. Do you think a white man want to deal with you, boo? You've been in Hollywood. You know white men, you know Jewish men. Why is nobody checking for Tiffany Haddish? Because they don't have time for that. If you have problems, those men don't have that kind of time, boo. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, LC Dude Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I appreciate you for all you do. Try with the bell. We're out.